Welcome to Smeatharpe Stadium near Taunton in Devon for the second day of a busy weekend for the 2-litre National Saloon stock cars. A big day for the formula here at Smeatharpe as they contest their national championship. Qualifying was held in fine sunny and warm weather last night, but today the more traditional championship weather at Taunton of heavy rain has taken over. You have to feel for the promotion. It seems to rain at every big event here at Taunton, but that won't stop the saloons from delivering their own unique brand of action. They race alongside the brisker Formula 2 stock cars today. We begin with the last chance qualifier for the Saloon stock cars, and then their big race, the National Championship. It's then the Benevolent Fund Trophy for the Formula 2s in Part 2, and all comers and a final for the Saloons, and also the meeting final for the Formula 2s. Let's take a look at some highlights from Saturday's qualifying races for the Saloons. 5 heats were held, each driver racing in 3 of them, and it was a great night for Warren Darby, number 677, taken out of the lead of heat number 1 into the marker tyres, but such was his lead, he was able to fight back and retake Nathan Alden for the lead of the race. Very quick recovery by the youngster in 677 from the Saloon stock car racing family. Nathan Alden then coming under fire from Wayne Jarvis in the 489. They banged and clattered their way around the last couple of laps. Jarvis taken out in turn by Wesley Starmer in a crazy finish, well behind race winner Warren Darby. Plenty more lively bumper work in the second heat, including some 5 wide racing, the track replete with Saloon stock cars in our second heat in the Taunton Sunshine, with cars being scattered everywhere as a result. The likes of Brad Compton-Sage and Michael Allard involved. Dean Mays certainly putting the bumper in hard on the 447 car of Adam Hicks. He went on to catch the world champion Diggy Smith for the lead of the race. Diggy looked all set to win at one stage, but Dean Mays, his East Anglian rival, catching him up, putting the bumper in on the final turn, and through he went to snatch the win on the final bend, while more chaos reigned behind. Heat number 3, it was that man Darby again up front in the 677 car, surviving a couple of scrapes along the way, collecting a few spun cars in the early stages as he raced clear off the rest of the field from his advantageous white grade start at the front of the grid, surviving a head-on with the spun Ross Waters as well on turn 4. Ross, one of a number of Scottish drivers present at the event, another being Graham Chevel, who proved little handicap to Warren Darby on the final bend as he came through for win number 2. Under the floodlights, the 4th heat looked set to deliver Darby a hat-trick of wins, but he reckoned without Billy Smith in 161, with Diggy catching up behind. Billy let Warren Darby through to lap him and then walloped straight in. A little bit of team racing trying to delay the 677 of Warren Darby, who to his credit tried to survive it, so instead Billy Smith put the brakes on him, and out of the lead eventually went Warren Darby, courtesy of the East Anglian attack. 2080 and Govia briefly showed in the lead, as did Michael Allard in 349. He was dealt with by Billy Smith as well. Phil Powell, the next target for the front bumper of the 161 car, and eventually it was Diggy in 116 who would come through and take the victory. Just about anything goes in Saloon stock car racing, and that showed again in Heat 5 with plenty of crash bang wallop towards the front of the field. Diggy Smith was out there again, getting tangled up with Dean Mays and Scotsman Barry Russell in the early stages. Levi Outen was the early leader, but he bounced off Ian Govia and they went off onto the infield. That allowed 277 Jack Brandon to come through after problems in his earlier heats. Had to change a differential after his opening heats, and then suffered some bodywork damage in his second. But Jack Brandon, 277, the ex-Bangor and stock rod racer, was able to make his way to the front just after half distance, surviving a fair bit of push and shove with a few back markers, spinning the 389 car aside. He would go on to take the victory, while Barry Russell got caught up with Marty Lake and the 888 car of Shane Emerson. Great action further back in the pack. All 277 out in front. Well, the rain has arrived for this Sunday, unfortunately. We get underway with the last chance qualifier. There are 16 cars out there on track. The top 4 go through into the National Championship at the back of the grid later on. 2-9 out there, that's Will Morphy in among the blue grade. These cars started in graded order: white, yellow, blue and red. National Championship will be in qualifying order. 428 there, Lee Sampson, very experienced racer. Jack Rust, 172 in the Audi A4 bodied car. Most of these cars based on Sierra or Mondeo body shapes. 84 is Carl Boswell, 444 Kieran Bellringer, 130 of Chris Durrant on pole with Levi Outen in 152 alongside him. So 12 laps, the first 4 go through to the back of the grid for the National Championship, and 296 already pulling over there. That's Craig Mitchell. That's Chris Durrant in 130, dukes it out with Levi Outen in 152. The white 152 car pulls ahead on the outside. Already been sent spinning there, 316 of Danny McCluskey, courtesy of Will Morphy in 129, the former 1300 stock car world champion. He gets some bumper in turn from 428 Lee Sampson. Adam Hicks behind them in 447. Lee Sampson looking fairly quick here. Up onto the back of 842, that's Lee Williams. Levi Outen is slowing up there, he's lost the lead. To cope with the conditions, it's Michael Boswell, number 328, has now gone to the front of the pack, the ex-V8 Hot Stocks racer. Will Morphy's going to be taken out there, and Adam Hicks goes around as well. There's no grip out there at all on this concrete surface here at Smeatharpe Stadium. The track built on an old runway. Very tight little oval this is. Levi Outen is being sent side to side there down the straight. He's under fire from Lee Sampson. Jack Rust in 172 in there as well. Chris Durrant has dropped back in 130. Relatively short race this one, 12 laps. See from Levi Outen there, he's just sliding all over the place. There's no grip out there. Your leader is Michael Boswell in number 328. Pick him up shortly. Top 4, don't forget, go through to the back of the grid for the National Championship race. 525 they're slowing. That's Wesley Starmer, who's raced Bangers at Kings Lynn, Skegness. A lot of ex-Banger drivers in this field. Will Morphy looking quick here in 129. We saw him have a moment earlier on. Past Jack Rust in the 172. Craig Mitchell we lost on the first lap. Outen sideways again. He certainly looks spectacular. Now he goes around. He's been trying to save spins on every turn so far. Will Morphy onto the centre too. He's lost out to Jack Russell. Here's our leader, 328 Michael Boswell. In fact, it's a 1-2 for the Boswell family because Carl Boswell, the ex-Banger driver, is up there in second place. They're well clear of their opposition. Danny McCluskey recovering his early spin in 316, gets past Chris Durrant in the 130. They're now going after Lee Williams in 842. Behind them, number 14, which is Colin Savage. It's possibly an ex-Dean Mays car that he's driving. We'll see Dean in the main event later on. Had a heat win yesterday. 152 Levi Outen, under fire from Carl Boswell. Is he going to attack Michael for the lead, or is he just going to protect the family 1-2, the Boswell boys? Coming into the closing stages now. There's Michael, the maroon-coloured 328 machine. 84 of Carl Boswell in second. He's raced a few classic cars in the Bangers over the years. The Standlake venue in Oxfordshire, among others. He's closing in here as Lee Williams gets taken out by the leaders. Lost Colin Savage, number 14, he's on the centre. Lee Sampson, I think, is in third place, and we'll pick up who's in fourth. Just a couple of laps to go now for Michael Boswell in 328. Certainly enjoying his switch to Saloons from the Rover-powered V8 Hot Stocks. Looks like it is going to be a Boswell 1-2. Levi Outen has been providing most of the entertainment so far, sliding and spinning all over the place, as has Lee Williams, and Shane Emerson gets spun out there as well. That was Will Morphy putting the bumper in. To the end of this one now. We're on the last lap, in fact. It's going to be a win for Michael Boswell. It'll probably get Lee Williams out of his way here on the final turn. Out of the last bend, and the win goes to Michael Boswell. Carl Boswell makes it a family 1-2. It's Lee Sampson who will come through to take third, and who is going to be fourth? It's going to be Jack Rust in 172. They complete the qualifiers for the National Championship. Will Morphy misses out. Behind him, number 444 of Kieran Bellringer. We'll confirm that result in just a moment. Slip and slide here at Smeatharpe today. Well done to the Boswell family. A 1-2 in our last chance qualifier for the National Championship. Michael the winner by 1.5 seconds ahead of Carl, with Lee Sampson third ahead of Jack Russ. They complete the 4 qualifiers. Will Morphy just missing out ahead of Kieran Bellringer. It was Aaron Totham in 5.61 in 7th ahead of Adam Hicks, Danny McCluskey, and the spectacular Levi Houghton rounds out the 10.
Race 1 winner, 3:28 Michael Boswell. Tricky conditions today.
Yeah, it's slightly different than yesterday, isn't it? It's very wet and never been around here in the wet, so it's an eye-opener.
You did all right though. You got out in the front and there was nobody around you. That's got to take the pressure off, knowing there's nobody just sat in your back bumper.
Well, I didn't know who was behind. Don't do a mirror. Don't want to worry myself too much. Just keep going and going as far as you can, like.
And that's now put you on the grid, of course, for the National Championship. So get stuck in from the back and give it what for, eh?
Yeah, we'll see how we go on. Not expecting the world, but we'll give it a good crack.
Yeah, keep it pointing forward. You never know.
Yeah, that's it. We'll have a bit of fun at the same time, I think.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks. Cheers.
It is now time for the main event, the 2021 Saloon Stock Car National Championship. Diggy Smith, the world champion, has qualified on pole. Warren Darby in 6.77, what a great effort with those 2 heat wins last night alongside him. Dean Mays in 7.30 and Barry Russell in 600 on the second row. 6.18 of Stuart Sheville is next. Nathan Alden in 3.64. Row 4, Kyle Irvine in 85. 3.99 of Cole Atkins. 2.77 is next. That's Jack Grandon. 5.73 there, that's Marty Lake. 9.02 Brad Compton Sage, or as everyone knows him, Buster Jr. 28 is Ian Govia. 3.49, look out for Michael Allard, ex-Bangor world champion in a couple of classes. 31 cars out there in total. This is going to be a cracker. 26 there, that's Harry Barnes. It'll be a Saloon Stock Car Championship race without the Barnes family on the grid. Ryan Santry in 3.89. It's Diggy Smith on the front row alongside Warren Darby. Diggy was a heat winner last night. Warren Darby won 2 of his 3 heats. Dean Mays a winner as well. They could start as the 3 favourites, but in truth anyone on this grid could win this title. The 2021 Saloon Stock Car National Championship here at Smeatharpe Stadium is go. 20 laps were underway. Jack Grandon's been spun out already, coming through turn 4. He hasn't even reached the start line. Another one goes there, that's Graham Sheville in 6.61. Darby and Smith duke it out for the lead. Darby's got sideways on the puddles on the inside there, and it's Diggy Smith who takes the lead. Barry Russell trying to get round the outside in the 600. They're all away well, except for one car spinning out there in the background. A couple of cars being taken out. Graham Sheville trying to rejoin there on turns 3 and 4. Kyle Irvine is picked up by 3.70 of Rowan Venny, takes him out. 6.77 of Warren Darby, gets some bumper from Barry Russell. Nathan Alden likewise under fire from Dean Mays. This is the leading pack, but it's 1.16 of Diggy Smith, the world champion, who has got the early lead. 26 Harry Barnes are in the middle. There's Carl Boswell, number 84 from the back of the grid, one of our last chance qualifiers already on the move up. Kyle Irvine runs somebody in there. That was Michael Allard, bounces off the fence, bounces back out into the side of Buster Jr. This is good stuff so far. 5.04 of Danny Elborn gets spun aside, getting carried along down the back straight. Ross Waters in there, Marty Lake. 1.99 of Phil Powell as well. 1.72 Jack Rust has made good progress as Barnes is now spun out by, I think that was Michael Boswell, down the home straight. The leader gets through on the outside, that's Diggy Smith. Already trying to put a gap between himself and the rest of the pack. Phil Powell on the back of Ross Waters in the 6.70. Somebody else wallops off the fence there coming off turn 4. We've lost 2.82, that's Ant Riley, ex-Brisker F2 man. Diggy Smith with a very clear lead now. It's Barry Russell, I think, still in second in the 600. Then it's Nathan Alden. They're going to get tangled up, though, coming off turn 2. They're both going to spin out. Out goes the second place battle. Now, I think that's handed second to Cole Atkins, possibly in 3.99. And Warren Darby's gone as well. The front row man spins out there in the background. We've lost Jack Rust, who was making good progress from the back in 1.72. Starts at the very back of the grid. Now, Diggy Smith leads it. Who is in second? They're a long way back, whoever it is. Diggy just made the break and everybody else has been falling over each other. Diggy Smith, the East Anglian legend, who's won just about every title available to him in this formula and others, splashes his way along. He's lapped Ross Waters, coming up on Phil Powell, veteran West Countryman in 1.99. 1.71 of Adam O'Dell goes spinning there. He's another of the favourites, a British champion, but has had a quiet weekend here at Smeatharpe Stadium. Diggy Smith gobbling up the back markers. He's well clear of, I think it's Cole Atkins, 399 in second place, but Diggy so far in front, it's difficult to tell. Superbly talented driver. He's won titles in lightning rods, bangers, 1300 stock cars. Many title wins in the saloons over many years. 4 wide, look at this off the turn. Jack Grandon, who spun at the very start of the race, is involved in that. Michael Allard gets spun into the marker tyres. Grandon's going to be spun out as well by Carl Boswell. Graham Chevelle involved in the leader, nearly caught up there. Just about makes his way through. Marty Lake in behind him in 5.73, I think, is a lap down. So Diggy Smith surviving a scare there as a couple of cars went spinning in front of him. That's the skill you've got to have. You've got to find where the gaps are as the traffic falls over each other in front of you, as Graham Chevelle gets rid of somebody. That was Billy Smith in 161. Diggy's tail gunner has been taken out there. It's Carl Boswell in 84, racing it out with Kyle Irvine in 85. Past half distance now, lap 13 of the 25 in this national championship race, and Diggy Smith is in heavy back marker traffic. He's got the 370 of Rowan Venny ahead of him there. Kyle Irvine in 85, he'll soon bumper them aside, I'm sure. Graham Chevelle on his tail, he's a lap down, he spun at the very start of the race. Barry Russell going backwards, he ran second early on. I think he's just got to keep his head while everyone around him seems to be losing theirs. Look at the traffic he's in there, it's like the M5 on a bad day. He leads. There's Cole Atkins, and he has closed the gap now with all this traffic. There's Cole in the white and red 399 car. It's right up within a couple of car lengths of Diggy. The Scots are trying to take Diggy out here. Ross Waters and Graham Chevelle, I think that is, trying to attack the 116, but he's still found a way through, and now Ross Waters wallops himself into the wall. So Diggy's got away with that, but Cole Atkins is up with the leader now. It's just so wet out there, he can't find the grip to attack him. See there where he ran wide through the puddles, 399 of Cole Atkins. Now the 131 gets spun aside. That's Timmy Barnes, a member of the Barnes family who've been involved in oval racing since there has been oval racing in the UK. Horry Barnes raced for over 50 years, since 1954. Marty Lake out onto the centre there in 5.73. There's Buster Jr. in 9.02. He's running well, battling with Dean Mays. I think that's the fight for third place now. Cole Atkins trying to catch our leader in 3.99. Yes, there is 9.02 of Buster Jr. battling with Nathan Alden in 3.64. That's the fight for third position. So the closing stages now. Nobody else spinning out. That's Buster Jr. getting spun aside there. Now he's recovered that. Should be okay. I don't think he's lost too much ground there, Buster, in 9.02. So getting spun aside is the 672 car of Simon Paris. Buster trying to recover there. He's got Dean Mays in behind him. Jack Grandon ahead of them there. Is he trying to take Buster out there? Maybe it was Buster who spun him on the first lap of the race. Buster Jr., a title winner in the ORCI mini stocks here over the years. So Diggy Smith from Cole Atkins, they're the two leaders, well out in front of everybody else. Now, who's coming through in third place? There goes Diggy. Oh, Cole Atkins slowing up, he's in trouble. So that's Diggy's main pursuer gone. Nathan Alden in 3.64 there, I think he is a lap down. So second place now is Dean Mays, under fire from Buster Jr. That's the battle for second place. We've lost Cole Atkins. Here comes Buster. Brad Compton Sage, his real name, and everyone knows him as Buster Jr. He's through into second, ahead of Dean Mays. Also coming through is Grandon in 2.77. We saw him delayed early on. So tricky to work out where everybody is in this race. Grandon under fire again from Dean Mays. English champion, the points champion as well, with the silver roof, with the St George's cross in the middle of it. Had a heat win last night, but I don't think he's going to catch Diggy Smith here. It's going to be a flag-to-flag victory for the 116 car as Barry Russell gets rid of Jack Grandon. Took the whole race sideways. That's taken out Anthony Riley as well. But it's going to be a win for the 116. It's going to be yet another title for Diggy Smith. Here he comes. 2021 Saloon Stock Cars National Championship is won by Diggy Smith, a flag-to-flag victory. He's way clear of his opposition. Confirm the results of that one in a moment. Poor old Cole Atkins is chasing Diggy down. His car let him down in 3.99. So the pack makes it home. Not too many finishers to that one from the 32 who started. 31 who started, I should say. There was one non-starter. Well, Diggy Smith celebrating, but unfortunately Diggy's car failed post-race scrutineering and he was removed from the results. So Buster Jr. inherits the title ahead of Dean Mays, with Ryan Santry third, Lee Sampson, the last chance qualifier, coming through for fourth, then Kyle Irvine, he got fastest lap, Simon Benny, Ross Waters, Carl Boswell, Barry Russell and Simon Paris completing the top 10. Diggy Smith removed from the results after his car's camshaft failed scrutineering. Diggy understandably aggrieved at that. So a bit of an unfortunate way for the National Championship to be decided. We move on to the Brisker Formula 2 stock cars now. This is their Benevolent Fund trophy race. The Benevolent Fund helping to aid injured drivers and their families. There are 32 cars out there in total, including a lot of big names. The national points champion, 560, Luke Wrench, who dominated the meeting last night here at Smeatharpe, is out there. The British champion, Stephen Gilbert, in 542. John Palmer, number 24 at the back, Mr. Box Office as he's known. Former world champion James Rigor in 783. Plenty more big names besides. John Whittaker on pole position, number 533, the white grader. Car started in graded order but from a closed grid for this one. Reps begin to rise and away they go. This will be a 20-lap race, the Benevolent Fund Trophy. They're underway. It's going to be slip and slide for the F2s. John Whittaker leads them off already. Blue graders getting caught up there. That's Matt Hatch and Luke Beeson, I think that went off on the outside. His car's going everywhere on the first turn. Stephen Gilbert taken wide there, the British champion with the black and white roof. And tangled there down the back straight. That's John Palmer, one of the favourites into the marker tyres. He got caught up with Aaron Vate in 184. There's going to be cars going everywhere in the first couple of laps of this one with so many of them out there. It started roughly in graded order. It's actually the reverse of last year's points chart, although some changes made because not everybody raced in the shortened season last year. Well, the early lead is with Adam Rubery, Paul Moss in 979 going spinning, everybody going off on the outside, and Luke Wrench is in that pile, I think, in 560, the pre-race favourite. There's about 10 other cars in there as well. This is for the lead. 689 was going to take the lead, but he's been stuffed by about 3 other cars pushing behind him. Who's come out of this with the lead now then? It's Jack Cave in 801 leading now. Well, half the field's in that pile-up. 689 Joe Marquand was briefly leading there. He got stuffed by Adam Rubery, and now Cave is going to lose the lead because Jamie Avery in 126 comes through. We've had about 4 leaders in the first 4 laps. Okay, the race hopefully will settle down and we can try and establish the order here. There were so many cars involved in the early laps, with the drivers in some cases trying to win the race on the first lap. 325 Ryan Sheehan gets dumped out by Justin Fisher in 315. That's Matt Hatch in the green car, number 320 there, stuck on the outside. Tristan Claydon under fire from 689 of Joe Marquand, who led briefly but was then stuffed into the pile-up. 126 Jamie Avery has the lead. Adam Rubery, who led off from the front row, number 700, the West Midlands based driver, after John Whittaker, 533, the pole sitter, fell back. He got stuck in the pile-up. There's James Riger, the former world champion. Matt Stoneman in 127. He had a win in the consolation race last night. It's 828 Julian Coombs, in fact the green car stuck on the outside of the turn there. 979 of Paul Moss. It was him spinning that started the pile-up early on. He's about to be lapped by race leader Jamie Avery in 126. 581 of Dan Fallows still going. 184 Aaron Vate, bumped wide by Ben Borthwick in 418. Ben Borthwick, who started on the front row for the 2019 World Final at Buxton. 183 there, that's Charlie Ginchard, the Novice of the Year winner. Looks like he's in problems pulling off. Stephen Gilbert, the British champion. 325 of Ryan Sheehan battling it out with him, the blue top. But it's half distance in this 2021 Benevolent Fund Trophy for the Brisker Formula 2s. Justin Fisher's spun out there, he's in the marker tyres backwards. Still your leader is Jamie Avery in car number 126. Bouncing off at a back marker, that's Matt Hatch in the 320, the other green car. There's the other one, Julian Coombs, stuck on the outside. Might work out who's in second place here. I think it might still be Joe Marquand in the 689. Kieran Bradford, number 27, being lapped, the yellow top. It's calming down in the second half of this race. So there's Marquand. In fact, I think it's Jack Cave still second, number 801. My apologies, he is still there ahead of Marquand. Captain Caveman, as he's known. There's Luke Wrench, the silver top. He didn't get very far, unfortunately. Charlie Ginchard battling with Matt Hatch. Behind them, 736 of Josh Weir. Thanks Ginchard. Marquand in behind them. He is now through into second place. He's got ahead of Jack Cave. They're well behind Jamie Avery, proving the Rainmaster in this one. There's Ben Bate running wide in 161. The red wheels. There's the battle for second. Jack Cave, number 801, trying to fight back. Tail of Joe Marquand in 689. Tangle there on the inside. Matt Hatch goes off onto the infield. They're well behind this man, 126, Jamie Avery. Coming up to lap Johnny Whittaker. Johnny Egg, as he's known. He goes a lap down. We've lost Paul Rice there on the outside. I caught a glimpse of number 890. Stephen Gilbert still ploughing on in 542. Chasing down Tommy Farrell, who's in fourth place in the 667. There is Tommy. Josh Weir behind him. I think he's a lap down. Really is treacherous out there now. Drivers coping very well indeed. A couple of laps to go for race leader Jamie Avery. Looks like he's going to take the win in the Ben Fun Trophy for 2021. Ultimate lap for the 126 car. There's spun and broken cars littering the raceway. To the last lap goes the 126. He's got a very clear lead over the Marquand and Cave battle. It's going to be a win in the 2021 Brisker Formula 2 Benevolent Fund Trophy. 126, the Rainmaster, Jamie Avery, punches the air as he crosses the line. It's one of the biggest wins of his F2 career so far. Marquand comes over in second, it's Cave third, then Farrell, and it looks like Stephen Gilbert rounds out the top five. We'll confirm the results in a few moments' time. Great stuff there from 126 Jamie Avery. That's his first major title win in Brisker F2, I believe. Again, managed to come through in the early stages while everybody else was slipping and sliding all over the place, getting used to the conditions. Whittaker and Rubery who led the early laps, but Jamie Avery came through to take the win, nearly 3 seconds clear of Joe Marquand, who held off Jack Cave, then Tommy Farrell, Stephen Gilbert completed the top five. Dan Fallows in 5816, ahead of Ryan Sheehan and Ben Borthwick, then Ben Goddard in 895, 184 Aaron Bate completing the top 10.
F2 Ben Fun winner, 126 Jamie Avery. That's nice to get a title early on in the season.
Yeah, it's very nice to get a title early on in the season, yeah.
There was a lot of good drivers out there, but they seem to just be concerned with wiping each other out, and you got away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I took the lead after about the third or second lap, and it felt like an eternity, the race did, but then I just settled in, and it come to me.
Yeah, very, very tricky conditions today, aren't it?
Yeah, really tricky. It's horrendous out there. I mean, when you got a 30 car final, you just cannot see a thing, but it was good.
And of course, you've stayed, you're going out for the final now, so you might do it again?
Yeah, going to go out for the final now, give it our best shot.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you. I just want to say a quick thank you to my sponsors, Rev Comps. Big up to them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rain continues to fall here at Smeatharpe Stadium, but it's certainly not slowing the action down. Plenty of lively racing so far from both the Saloons and the Brisker Formula 2 stock cars. There's plenty more coming up after a short break here at Smeatharpe Stadium. Don't go away.